Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is about what happened throughout the annals of recorded history. Join us as we delve into yesteryear, not only for interesting and important happenings, but to possibly even answer questions you do not know you have. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History. What happened today in history?
On thisday.com
and historical calendar. For links to these sources, the music in the background, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Please check out our link tree. Anyway, I am A.O. Xander.
I am the lovely Alice of Who.
And you, here are you. Today is, what is today? Freya's Day, aka Friday, September 15th, 2023. Well,
23!
Yeah, we're 2 days overdue for the 13th, so we're not getting a Friday the 13th this month. Oh well. Anyway,
whatever. It'll happen eventually.
Let's jump into the history today, shall we? Alice, do you want to start? I don't want to eat into you're on the job, so like.
Yeah, well, we have in 608 AD, we have Saint Boniface the Fourth.
Yes.
Begins his reign as Catholic Pope.
Huh.
Oh, yeah, indeed. Oh, what else we have here? We have in 1668, we're going to move up like 60 years. We have even Roman Emperor Constance II is assassinated in his bath in Syracuse, Italy.
Oh, that's not nice. He was chilling in the tub and then he got stabbed by a bub. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, or arrow. Oh, you never know.
Dude, could you imagine just like chilling in the
yeah,
bathtub and a random arrow just comes in through the window and stabs you right in the heart? Like, oh god.
Oh, the humanity.
Oh, how original.
Oh my god, yeah. I know, right? We're gonna move up a few hundred years here. 921, where Saint Ludmilla is murdered at the command of her daughter-in-law in Tetlin.
Tetanus.
Tetanus.
Dang,
Yeah,
that's mean.
Tetanus.
Like, her daughter-in-law,
I just
ordered her death.
Yeah, well, I just started off the whole death roll here, so
yeah.
Let's go.
Well, we have here in 1556, Charles V and Maria of Hungary returned to Spain and retired to the monastery of Yuste in Extremadura. All right, look at that beard. He looks very he looks like a Star Trek character, like kind of like that one guy. You know what I'm talking about?
He looks like Riker.
Yeah, a little bit like Riker.
You're talking about like Riker from
Riker.
Generation? Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, Riker.
We also have
not to be mistaken with Riker's Island.
1584 here, San Lorenzo del Escorial Palace in Madrid was finished. Huh. Well, let's take a look at that.
There you go.
Let's see here. San Madrid Palace in Madrid. Images. Ooh, that's a cool looking palace. Look at that thing.
Ooh, it's pretty.
Big old square
Oh,
pool.
and look, it's got walls.
Well, yeah.
Hey, it's a swimming pool.
Yeah. That's cool.
Well.
Ooh. Anyway, we also have 1616. First non-aristocratic free public school in Europe was opened in Frascati, Italy. Nice. 1656, England and France signed a peace treaty. Yeah. 1656, England and France signed a peace treaty. So, one of a lot.
Oh.
1683, Germantown in Pennsylvania was founded by 13 immigrant families.
Huh.
That's cool.
Well, that makes sense about the Pennsylvania Dutch thing.
Yeah. Anyway, I kind of...
now we know about
I forgot that we were supposed to take turns, so go ahead. 1707.
No, don't worry about it. No, you take this one, I'll take the next one.
All right, 1707, Frederick Rakoczyl II, Prince of Transylvania, and Tsar Peter the Great signed a social security agreement. I wonder what that entails. Well, actually, let me look that up here.
Well,
let's see if I'll get like some Wikipedia or something about it. Here we go. Well, this is just the same exact, like, this is this exact article I just copied. Oh, okay, well, anyway, let's see here, 1733. Go for it, Alice.
Well, and we have 1733. King Frederick William I devised Prussia Brandenburg in cantons.
So he divided,
What does that mean?
like, Prussia and Brandenburg. So Prussia was like an area where modern-day Germany is now. Actually, hold on a second. Where map of Prussia. Yeah. So Prussia was like the pre-Germany Germany. So
before Germany was Germany.
Yeah.
Before Deutschland was Deutschland.
Yeah. But Brandenburg, of course, is in that area. You know, we have the Brandenburg Gate and such. So I believe, like Prussia, the Brandenburg was divided into cantons, whatever that means. If anybody, watching this knows what that means, please let us know in the comments section. That will be wonderful. Anyway, you wanted 1762 here?
1762, we got the Battle of Signal Hill. The last battle of the North American theater of the Seven-Year War.
You got extremely robot-y there for a second.
Sorry. Okay, hang on. Can you hear me now?
No.
Alright.
No,
What?
you're still robot-y. Anyway, I'm gonna take a couple more if that's all right. 1762, Battle of Signal Hill,
fine.
the last battle of the North American theater of the 7 Years' War. Cool.
Huh.
We also have 1774, Cossack pretender to the Russian throne, Yemelyan Ivanovich Pugachev was captured. Okay? He was trying to get the throne. He was from Cossack, or he was a Cossack. 1776.
He was a Cossack.
Yes. 1776, British forces captured Kips Bay in Manhattan during the Revolution. And then 1 year after that, 1777, George Washington, on authorization of Congress, appointed Casimir Pulaski as Brigadier General in Continental Army Cavalry. And this is the same guy, I believe. Is this the Polish one? Yes. This is the guy who saved George Washington's life. We talked about this a couple days ago. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, he saved George Washington's life. Yeah. So yeah, I was going on about how we need to give a lot of respect to Poland, because if it wasn't for one of them, we wouldn't be a thing. Same as give respect to the France and all that stuff. We also have
the Jacquois.
Yeah, the Jacquois. So, let's see here, 1787. Yeah. So from this date until tomorrow, the 16th, Utrecht patriots fled to Amsterdam. Oh.
Yeah, well, they fled, either or. But yeah, something looks wrong with the way they wrote that.
Yeah, well, they're writing it in present tense, not past tense. So they're fleeing to Amsterdam.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn. So we have, actually, you have that 1789 right there.
Yeah, go for it.
You should read that one.
1789, the U.S. Department of Foreign Affairs was renamed the Department of State. Okay, that's weird. Why would a Department of Foreign Affairs be made a Department of Domestic Affairs? What? Don't you already have one of those? That makes no sense.
Yeah, they call them, I think that became a later, maybe possibly the Secretary of State, because they deal with domestic and foreign affairs, but I just don't get it.
That's weird. Well, then again, we have a lot of words that don't fully describe the thing. Like elevator, elevates, but also de-elevates. Escalator takes you up and down. There is no such thing as a broken escalator; just becomes stairs. Do you want to take this one here?
Yeah, I'll take the lyrical ballads. We're going to 1795 here, the lyrical ballads, published by Samuel Taylor Coleridge and William Wordsworth, is the first work of the English Romantic movement. Probable date is what it says.
Yeah.
This is roughly around the time that this came out, so I'm just saying 1795 is the probable date of it. Yeah.
Look at Wordsworth here, though. He looks like he's giving you a look hey there. And then the other guy is just what?
looks like he's been disgusted by something. He's like, oh, you shouldn't use a spoon right there. You should use a fork.
Yeah.
Anywho, let's move to 1795. We have the Dutch East India controlled Cape Colony, present day of South Africa, surrenders to Britain.
Huh. And this,
so the Dutch surrendered to Britain over South Africa.
That's interesting. So I think Britain was actually at war with the Netherlands or something. You know what? I'm starting to put pieces together slowly after doing this show for many years. Because I do know that New York used to be called New Amsterdam. It was a Dutch colony at first, and then it got taken over by the British. The Dutch took it back, and then the British took it back, and it's since been New York. So, and very much like the British, you know, they had their own East India Company and all that stuff. The Dutch, obviously, right here had their own East India Company. So, looks like Britain was going to war with companies that were being used as fronts for countries to do things they wouldn't legally otherwise be allowed to do. Very much like how today works with the military-industrial complex. Yeah, and that's how it is. Yeah.
Well, let's move on ahead here, bud.
Yeah.
We have the Great Fire of Moscow here. This happened in 1812. Napoleon Bonaparte, the infamous Napoleon, and his French army reached the Kremlin in Moscow, and they watched the Great Fire of Moscow spread and grow. Did they do anything though? Is the question.
Well, they set fire to Moscow, yeah.
No, yeah, they just watched it burn.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Way to go.
Yep.
Way to go there, Napoleon.
We also have a constitutionalist revolution in Lisbon, Portugal in 1820. Then 365 days after that, the Act of Independence of Central America, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua declared their independence from the Spanish Empire. Whoa! That's a major event right there. That requires a cheer.
Hi-yo!
We also have 1830, the first National Black Convention began in Philadelphia. All right.
Oh, in Philly, huh?
Yeah. And while that was going on, the first passenger to be killed by a railway train was William Huskisson in England. What happened? Was he on the tracks or something?
Was he wearing earbuds and playing music on an iPhone or watching something?
It's like, William, oh God, no, he has his AirPods in, he can't hear us. Oh, man. And speaking of trains, 1 year later, the locomotive John Bull in 1831 operated for the first time in New Jersey on the Camden and Amboy Railroad.
Excuse me.
Dang.
Sorry.
You alright?
I just choked on my own saliva.
That's disgusting.
You know how you breathe in and sometimes it just goes down the wrong windpipe?
Alice, you're supposed to drink water. Why do you have saliva dingleberries? Saliva berries.
Well, if I have a mouth and, you salivate. It's a natural thing that human beings
drink water. Do. Keep your mouth,
I didn't have any by me. I'm outside.
Well, then command the rain to I don't know. Anyway, look at this train. That's pretty cool.
That is.
Yeah, that's the first...
it looks like it almost has a plow in the front, too, in a way.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Huh. Well, let's move on up.
Yeah, we also have... go for it, Alice, this one.
Oh, Darwin in the Galapagos Islands. Ha-ha! What year is this? We have 1835, the HMS Beagle, with Charles Darwin on board, reaches the Galapagos Islands.
All right. And then that's where he ate one of the turtles.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's when they reached it. What you find on that island is amazing.
Yeah.
It was a major find for especially over 100 years ago.
One of my aunts has been there a couple of times, actually.
I've never been to the Galapagos, but also out in that area is also Easter Island?
I don't know. Let me look. Galapagos Island.
I know they're not terribly far, but I think they're both in the Pacific. But...
Oh, you are correct. Okay, I did not know they were over there. So yeah, the Easter Islands are in that general area.
Yep. See, I knew that. I see. Ha! I do know my geography a little bit.
Why won't you let me go down?
Thank God I wasn't in a weird motion. Whoa, dude, that's not a U-turn area, you jerk.
That scared me.
Yeah, you heard the horn honk.
Yeah.
Somebody decided to do a U-turn at a four-stop.
Oh, that's not intelligent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, what else do we got here? Good pull on the Galapagos, by the way.
1853, we have Antoinette Blackwell is the first U.S. woman to be ordained a minister. That is pretty wicked.
I forgot we also had this here.
1851? Yeah, okay, so we're going to jump back 2 years here, but same day. St. Joseph's University is founded in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Ah. So that's
they just closed down a St. Joseph, well, not just. They did a few years back in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Huh.
And after that, like, it put a huge, like, outflow of patients because it's such a, like, condensed area. Like, losing that one hospital, like, now made the other 2 hospitals in the area, like, have overflow.
Wow.
It's really
why would they shut it down then? That's really not intelligent.
I don't even know exactly why, but, like, maybe this is something we can discuss on Sunday.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let me add that in. Why don't you take this one here?
Speaking of which, I didn't put event for it this week. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's all right. We'll get through it.
Yeah, we'll get through it. It's usually you and I anyway. Anyways, we have 1857. We have Timothy Adler. Or is that Adler? Yeah, Adler.
Adler.
Alder. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was having trouble too.
Yeah, well, no, it's in gray for me right now, so that makes it funny. Yeah. Like 1857, Timothy Adler of New York patents the typesetting machine or the typewriting tape. No, it says typesetting. Or
yeah, typesetting. So it's basically like you put the little blocks in there to press, like a printer press.
Okay.
So you're setting the type.
For the typewriter.
Yeah.
So he invented the keys of how it works. Like, I would love.
No. It's not the typewriter, Alice. It's a typesetting. Hold on a second. Let me look it up in the image here.
Yeah, like, I know there's 2 different things, but like, it's the keys that go into the typewriter, though, right?
No. It's for printing press, I think.
Oh, that's a whole different kit and caboodle.
Well, wait, hold on a second. I'm getting different images. Typesetting machine. Let me look this up. What is a typesetting machine? Any of the various keyboard machines for automatically composing printing type, either by assembling and sometimes distributing ordinary foundry type, or a modification of it, or more often by producing keyboard matter through forcing hot metal into matrices. Matrices? Like, not bed mattresses. Matrices? What is a matrice? This is
matrice?
Hold on a second.
Oh my god.
We're going down the whole...
Yeah, you might...
Why is it bringing a matrix? No, that's something else.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Matrice.
All right, well...
You know what? This is something we should probably put into the peanut. Because, like, we didn't do a show last week, and we've got a bunch of stuff we can talk about this week now.
Yeah. Typesetting machine. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to move us on up here. In 1862, Confederates conquered Union weapon arsenal at Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. 8 years later... Yep, I'm going to just start spitting some stuff out here for the sake of time. 1870, Dutch First Chamber abolished capital punishment 20-18. That was close. 1873, last German troops left France. Wonder what they were doing there back then. 1879... What?
Oh, no, I was looking at 1894.
We'll get there. 1879, Pim Muller formed the Royal Haarlem She football club based in Haarlem, Netherlands. This is the oldest existing club in Dutch football. Nice.
Yeah, darn.
1887, Philadelphia celebrates the 100th anniversary of the U.S. Constitution.
Hell nice. Yeah, go Philly!
Yeah.
It's the only time the only thing I like Philadelphia for. Screw their sports.
Yeah.
Sorry, Philly.
1898 is what you wanted me to take, right?
Yep.
The National Afro-American or Black U.S. Citizen Council formed in Rochester, New York.
No, the one above it.
Oh, 1894, Japan defeated China in the Battle of Pingyang.
Yeah.
Wait, you just thought that name was funny? You wanted me to read it?
No, I actually just thought that was pretty interesting.
Ah.
Considering the size of Japan to China.
Well.
Like,
Well, look at the size of Russia, but their GDP is like about the same amount as like what, New Hampshire or something. Like, size doesn't matter. Like.
No, it's actually heart, and Japanese have heart.
That they do. 1900, a Boer delegation issued an appeal at The Hague, Netherlands, that the major powers intervene in the war in South Africa. So yeah, during the Boer Wars.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's right, the Boer Wars. Oh jeez.
You want to take 1902?
Yeah, in 1902 we have Chicago Cubs infielders Trevor Evers and Chance Turner. Their first double play together in a 6-3 win over Cincinnati.
You mispronounced the name. It's Tinker, not Trevor. Tinker, Evers, and Chance. What is?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, like it's. You remember I have the correct screen on my phone.
No. I understand, Alice. I'm saying that for the sake of the listeners.
Oh yeah, it is Tinker.
But Tinker, Evers, and Chance. It sounds like Snap, Crackle, and Pop or something like. Tinker, Evers, Chance, Rice Krispies. 1903?
1903, we have a railroad strike. We have Queen Wilhelmina. I'm sorry, I can't see it. Wilhelmina calls Dutch. Oh my gosh, why can't I? Oh, my screen just went crazy. You have to read it. I'm sorry, my screen.
1903, Queen Wilhelmina called Dutch railroad strikers criminals. So she called the strikers criminals for wanting probably like better wages and fairer hours or something. Not sure. We also have 1910. Boers and Afrikaners won the first general elections in Union of South Africa, and the Afrikaners actually were, I believe, the white people. The Boers were the natives, I believe. So let me just double check that here. Afrikaners. An Afrikaans-speaking person in South Africa, especially one descended from the Dutch and Huguenot settlers of the 17th century. So yeah, European descendants. Let's see here. 2 years later, 1912, Boston Red Sox pitcher Smokey Joe Wood tied then MLB record of 16 straight wins with a 2-1 victory over St. Louis Browns at Sportsman's Park. All right. While that was happening, a war between Turkey and Montenegro broke out in Albania. Okay. What is that, like some kind of proxy war or something? Broke out in Albania. All right. 1913, the first U.S. Milch Goat show held in Rochester, New York. All right. And hold on a second, I'm about to sneeze. Sorry about that.
Bless you.
Thank you. We also have in 1914 the first battle of... What?
No, I said you're welcome.
1914, we have the first Battle of Aisne, finished Germans versus French and British during the First World War. All right. While that was going on, the U.S. Marines marched out of Veracruz, Mexico. What were they doing down there? I guess maybe Pablo Escobar? When did Pablo Escobar... When was Pablo Escobar captured? Killed? Well, no, it's not him then. What drug dealer did Patton go after? No. Okay, well, this is gonna be a rabbit hole, so we gotta move on up here. 1916, the first use of tanks in warfare, Little Willies at Battle of Flers-Courcelette, part of the Battle of the Somme. Yeah, they were dug in. It was a battle of attrition. They're fighting for literal inches, maybe even segments of inches, and they had to come up with like a brand new like wonder weapon to break through the lines, and that's where the tanks came in. And the tanks actually got their name because they were saying that they were like water tanks and such, so that's why we call them tanks. The more you know, as Alice would say. 1917, Forbes magazine was founded by B.C. Forbes and Walter Dray in the U.S. Alright. While that was going on, Russia proclaimed a republic by Alexander Kerensky's provisional government. 1921, Pope Benedict XV published encyclical Alcohol Paraclitus. Alcohol Paraclitus. Alright. Spirituous Prolacturus. Alright, well then, let's see here. I'm going to put this link in the underbar description below, post-stream, as usual. Moving on up to 1922, Philadelphia catcher Butch Hinline became the first National Leaguer to hit 3 home runs in a game since 1897 during the Phillies' 10-9 win over St. Louis Cardinals at the Baker Bowl. Dang. That's quite a while ago. 1 year later, 1923, Governor Walton of Oklahoma declared state of siege because of, terror. I can't even say the initials, I think. I don't know. I've seen some videos recently where they're even censoring out the initials. So, let's just say hooded white people. White hooded. People wearing bed sheets. Like, yeah. We also have 1923, military officer Miguel Primo de Rivera became a dictator and prime minister of Spain after launching a coup d'etat. And he would soon be overthrown he died in 1930, a combination of fever and diabetes. But he would be replaced by Francisco Franco. We also have in 1928, 400-kilogram Foreigner albums of forged postage stamps burn in Geneva. Whoa. So 400 kilograms of fake postage stamps. That's a weird thing to burn, but okay. While that was going on, Kent leg spinner Alfred Titch Freeman took 2-102 and forged 75 for Rest of England versus Lancashire to become the only bowler to take 300 wickets, specifically 304, in an English cricket season. Wow, that's quite a lot. 1928, Scottish bacteriologist Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin while studying influenza. Alright, and it wouldn't actually be until the invasion of Normandy when penicillin got its first actual real shake of a trial run. This is 1928. D-Day happened in 1944. That's quite a bit of time. They knew about penicillin, but it didn't really take off until they saw how well it treated infections and prohibited infections and such from wounded soldiers landing on those beaches in Normandy on that fateful day. That's when we really discovered, hey, this is a thing, and it became known as the wonder drug. Yeah, the more you know. 1928, let's see here. St. Louis Cardinals set National League record of 18 men left on base, still beat Phillies 8-6 at the Baker Bowl in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 2 years later, 1930, the first international bridge match was held in London. The U.S. team defeated England. Oh, man. We defeated them in their own game on their home turf. What an upset. 1931, British naval fleet mutinied at Invergordon over pay cuts. Yeah, that would cause it. 1935, Nuremberg laws deprived German Jews of citizenship and made the swastika official symbol of Nazi Germany. Yikes. So this is when they actually... why is this not highlighted? This is major. This is, really when it was becoming a thing. Yikes. Anyway, 1937, Works Progress Administration, WPA, extended El Traval streetcar line to San Francisco Zoo at Sloat Boulevard in San Francisco, California. Good old San Fran. 365 days later, 1938, British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain visited Adolf Hitler at Berchtesgaden. And once again, Brandon has visited Winnie the Pooh. So he's... Our Neville Chamberlain is copying the footsteps, more or less. I have a whole thing about that. And Alice, if you want, can you put into the peanuts my theory involving... Actually, I'll just add it myself. My theory about World War II and today. We are the UK. Yeah. No, that rhymed. Let's see here. We also have 1938 as well. John Cobb set world record, or world auto speed record at 350.2 miles per hour. Oh, she has a customer. Lasts one day. 1938 as well. Only time brothers hit back-to-back home runs. Lloyd and Paul Warner in Pittsburgh, I think. All right. 1930, Third American Football League plays first game. Milwaukee, I believe, 14 to Columbus 2. While that was going on, the Battle of Britain Day. This is the climax of the Battle of Britain. Tide begins to turn as the Royal Air Force repulsed a major Luftwaffe attack, losing 29 aircrafts to the Germans 57 to 61. So between 57 to 61 and 29 to that's almost 2 to 1 there. While that was happening, UK Prime Minister Winston Churchill visited Royal Air Force 11th Fighter Group on what would be the fiercest day of the Battle of Britain. Yep. I don't know why that came in after the previous article. 1 year later, Nazis kill 800 Jewish women at Skuvidgol, Lithuania. Ugh. Not all history is nice. We got to remember the bad stuff to know what not to do in the future. 1942, U.S. aircraft carrier Wasp was torpedoed at Guadalcanal. Did the Wasp sink? Hold on a second. I know we've lost a couple in the War of the Pacific. Let's see here. Wasp. CV-7. 1942. Okay, in commission. Stricken. 15th of September, 1942. That's today. But did it sink? Was the Wasp ever found? Okay, yeah, it did sink. Okay. Oh, alright. I believe, yeah, this is when it went down. That's unfortunate. It wasn't even in action. Anyway, we also have... actually, no, it was in action. My bad. 1943, Benito Mussolini formed a rival fascist government in Italy. Yikes. This is after he was overthrown. He was trying to retake Italy, but obviously that didn't work. We also have 2 more 1943s. They're both concentration camps. The Cowan in Lithuania opened, and Vaivaran in Estonia opened. Yeah. Oh, God. 1944, British bombers hit German battleship Tripitz with the Tallboy bombs. 1944 as well, Soviet troops freed Sofia, Bulgaria. And while that was going on, U.S. 1st Infantry Division pushed through to West Wall. Sorry, I was a little out of it for a second there. A lot of Holocaust stuff happened on this date, and that stuff really bothersome. 1945, a hurricane in southern Florida and the Bahamas destroyed 366 planes and 25 blimps at the NAS Richmond National Air Show, I believe. 1945, Dodgers defeated Cubs 2-0 in 5 innings. The game was called because of gnats. A plague of gnats, which actually was a biblical thing, I believe. I actually had a friend named Nat, and he found that particular thing hilarious because he imagined himself as just a plague of himself. Aren't we all a plague of ourselves at some point? We also have 1947, the first 4-engine jet-propelled fighter plane was tested in Columbus, Ohio. Nice. While that was happening, RCA released the 12AX7 miniature dual triode vacuum tube, which is still in production today. A vacuum tube. Hold on a second. Let me look this up here. 12AX7 miniature dual triode vacuum tube. What could it be possibly used for? Okay, well, it's manufacturers. As of 2022, versions of this are available in the following manufacturers: Russia, Slovakia, and China. Okay. Well, that would make sense. But wow. I did not know that they were still using stuff from back then, but yeah. Interesting. We also have 1947, Typhoon Kathleen hit the Tone River, Saitama, in Tokyo area, killing at least 1,930 people and injuring 1,000 injuring 1,750. Wow. Saitama. From One Punch Man? That's, There's a joke in there, an anime joke, but I'm not going to make it because people died, so... 1948, F-86 Sabre set world aircraft speed record of 1,080 kilometers an hour. 1949, Lone Ranger premiered on ABC TV, and I love this. Like, every now and then you see, where'd it go? 1949, here it is. Whoever, like, edits these, like, puts in little flavor text. Hi-oh, Silver, away! Yeah, good old Lone Ranger. 365 days later, in 1950, East German Premier Grotewall pled for German reunification. They wanted it from the very beginning, of course. That's actually kind of a repeat in history, because when Mustache Man from Austria first took power, he was wanting to reunify the Rhineland and all that stuff. We also have in 1950, for the record 6th time, the New York Yankees first baseman Johnny Maines hit 3 home runs in one game. Nice. While that was happening, the longest game in Philadelphia's Schreiber Park, Phillies defeated Reds 8-7 in 19 innings. Whoa. That's quite a long game there. 7-14-20. So that's almost your third 7th inning stretch there. 1 year later, 1951, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes closed at Ziegfeld, New York City after 740 performances. Alright. That's an interesting title. 1951 as well, Pope Pius XII published encyclical Inuguritium Malorum. I don't know how to speak Latin. Or Imperium from Warhammer 40k. Let's see here. It is an encyclical, yada yada. The Feast of the Seven Sorrows of the Virgin Mary. It is an appeal for an Okay, so I'm going to add these two art links into the underbar of the description post-show as per usual. Let's see here. Copy, paste. Alright. Put this back down there. We also have in 1952, the United Nations turned over Eritrea to Ethiopia. Now that doesn't seem right. Like, the United Nations is supposed to be a system of checks and balances, much like the federal government was supposed to be for, like, the U.S. So many different government bodies are supposedly systems of checks and balances that somehow gain more power than those that they're supposed to check and balance. So it always ends up like that, because Eritrea, nobody other than Eritrea should decide what Eritrea should do. The United Nations should not tell them what to do, should not have that power, or anybody other than themselves. Anyway, 1953, boxing's NBA adopted 10-point must-scoring system, 10 points to round winner. Okay. 4 years later, 1957, San Francisco Seals, the Pacific Coast League, played their last game. Aw. And 1 year later, in 1958, commuter train crashed off an open drawbridge, killing 48 in Bayonne, New Jersey. 1 year later, 1959, Soviet Premier Khrushchev arrived in the U.S. to begin a 13-day visit. All right, and that's the guy who was played by Steve Buscemi in Death of Stalin. Really good movie. You should see it. Let's see here. Maurice Richard retired in 1960. He announced his retirement. He finished his career with 544 goals, a National Hockey League record at the time. It's too bad Stapes wasn't here to read that. She's the hockey gal. We also have 1961, 61st U.S. Golf Amateur Championship was won by Jack Nicklaus at the age of 21. Oh yeah, good old Jack Nicklaus. We've spoken about him quite some time, and he was aged 21 in 61, so he must have been born in 40. 1962, Australia's first entry into America's Cup yacht race, and the U.S. won. Oh, well, they still got to join them, mate. 1963, Alao brothers, Felipe, Matty, and Jesus, appeared in San Francisco Giants outfield for one inning in a 13-5 win over Pittsburgh Pirates at Forbes Field. All right. We also have 1963 as well. Ben Bella was elected the first president of Algeria. Cool, cool. And we also have the Beatles headline, the Great Prop Prom at Royal Albert Hall, London. The Rolling Stones were one of the opening acts. Hey, hey, Rolling Stones. They gather no moss. Does that mean like no more, or no like moss? So Rolling Stones gathers no moss. Like, I guess if you stay in one language, then that makes sense. 1964, final edition of socialist British newspaper Daily Herald. And while that was going on, the Beatles played at a public auditorium in Cleveland, Ohio. Police stopped the show during the third song as some of the crowd climbed on the stage. After a 10-minute delay and a warning audience to stay seated, the concert resumed with the what? It just ends with the, I guess, just resumes. So that's weird. Whoever edited this needs to finish it. 1965, U.S. TV series Lost in Space premiered. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger, danger. 1965 as well, Volt/Stax record released Otis Redding's third studio album, Otis Blue, Otis Redding Sings Soul in the U.S. Atlantic released it in the U.K., frequently ranked on top album lists. Nice. Otis Redding, really good. 365 days later, 1966, first British nuclear ballistic missile submarine HMS Resolution was launched. Alright, now they have nuclear fish. We also have Gemini the 11th, Conrad/Gordon return to Earth. Alright. And then U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson, responding to a sniper attack at the University of Texas at Austin, wrote a letter to the United States Congress urging the enactment of gun control legislation. That does not do anything. That we knew it back then. You know, we knew it so well that we made gun control on the Native Americans, and look what happened to them. You know, Stalin put gun control on all of his people, look what happened to them. Mao Zedong, look what happened to them. You know, Australia, look what's going on to them right now. You know, come on. You know, I'm not going to sit here and preach one side or another, I'm just preaching facts. 1968, we have the launch of Zond 5, first lunar fly-around with Earth's re-entry. While that was going on, the probable test flight for a manned fly-around, this was scooped by Apollo 8. So, whatever this meant. If anybody watching this knows more about this, please let us know in the comment section. Moving on up to 1969, Major League Baseball St. Louis Cardinals Steve Carlton set a record by striking out 19 New York Mets in a game. Holy cats. Wow. You're out, you're out, you're out, you're out, you're out. 1970, Decca awarded Bing Crosby a second platinum disc for selling 300 million records. 1970 as well, officers of the Royal Ulster Constabulary, the RUC, in Northern Ireland voted narrowly in favor of remaining unarmed. We also have the Palestine Liberation Organization leader Arafat threatened to make a cemetery out of Jordan. Yikes. That is a terrifying threat right there. While that was going on, the Rotterdam dock strike ended. Cool. We also have the first broadcast of Columbo starring Peter Falk on NBC. That happened in 1971. And then in 1972, a magnitude 4.5 earthquake struck northern Illinois. That's unusual. An earthquake in Illinois. That's Illinoising right there. Sorry, I had to make that joke. 1972 as well, Apple Records released John Lennon's and Yoko Ono's political album Sometime in New York City in the UK, delayed by publishing rights dispute, included some live tracks from the 1971 concert with Frank Zappa. Cool, cool. 1973, Dutch guilder was devalued by 5%. Okay. 1973 as well, Ohio State Archie Griffith began record 31 consecutive 100-yard rushing. Whoa. Keep an eye on that guy. While that was going on, OPEC supported price hikes and designated 6 Gulf countries to negotiate collectively with companies over prices, other members to negotiate individually. 1973 as well, Secretariat won Marlboro Cup in world record 1 minute 45 seconds, or in 2/5 of a second, I guess, for 1 1/4 miles. I don't know much about horse racing. I guess one could call me a naysayer. Nah. 1974, Market Square Arena in Indianapolis opened. 1975, the first college football holy war. Notre Dame defeated the Boston College in 17-3 in Foxborough. God was on one of their sides, and it was the one with 17 points. While that was happening, Mike Vale extended hitting streak hitting. Hold on. 1975, Mike Vale extended hitting streak ton rookie record 23 straight game. Ton? What does ton mean? 1975 here. Does anybody know what that means? Or is that a typo or what? Do I have any comments in the live chat? No, I do not. We also have 1975, the French department or the French département of Corsica. The entire island of Corsica was divided into two: Haute Corse and Corse du Sud. All right. 1977, Orioles forfeited the Blue Jays when manager Earl Weaver pulled team off field in fifth, citing hazardous condition. Small tarpaulin on bullpen mound. What's a tarpaulin? Tarpaulin? Hold on a second. I think we looked this up here before. Oh, tarp. Okay, so they forfeited because there was a tarp. What? Just go and remove it. I remember last year talking about that. 1977 as well, TV LA drama Chips debuted on NBC in the U.S. Alright. While that was happening, President Jimmy Carter met with 15 record company executives. Wonder why. 1 year later, 1978, Dodgers became the first major league team to draw 3 million fans. Ooh. We also have Muhammad Ali defeated Leon Spinks in 15 rounds for heavyweight boxing title. 1981, Pope John Paul II published encyclical Laborem Exercens against capitalism/Marxism. Huh. Wow, that's interesting. Wow. Combining those two in the same thing. Capitalism and Marxism. Like, those are two opposite ends of the same coin when you really think about it. I'm going to have to... Let's see here. I need to find a Wikipedia for this because this does merit some research. So... is there another? Yes, Wikipedia. Here we go. All right. When it comes to like major things like political documents and encyclicals and things like that, I'd like to have at least 2 links. Would be nice. Moving on up to 1981, the John Bull became the oldest operable steam locomotive in the world when the Smithsonian Institution operated it under its own power outside Washington, D.C. All right. The John Bull. Let me look that up here. John Bull locomotive. Oh, the same one we were talking about. Okay, so this is the anniversary. Okay, so that's the same locomotive that we spoke about earlier. So it's still around. Cool. While that was going on, 1981 as well, U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee unanimously approved Sandra Day O'Connor for the U.S. Supreme Court. All right, it's unanimously. While that was going on, Vanuatu became a member of the United Nations. All right. 365 days later, 1982, the first issue of USA Today was published by Garnet Co. Inc. So, Garnet Company in Company. While that was happening, Israeli forces began pouring into West Beirut. Huh? And then we also have Pope John Paul II received PLO leader Yasser Arafat. Yep. And 1 year later, 1983, Israeli Premier Menachem Begin resigned. We spoke about his announcement of resignation a while ago, the beginning of the end, and this is the end of the begin. 1983 as well, police officers beat Michael Stewart to death for graffitiing on the New York City subway. That is a massive overreaction, and that is awful. There's no reason to beat somebody to death, especially over spray painting on a wall. Just make them paint back over it. Like, that's awful. 1984, Morocco Showcase opened. Alright. 1986, we have the first broadcast of legal drama LA Law, created by Stephen Bolshenko, with ensemble cast including Corbin Burson, Jill Eikenberry, and Harry Hamlin on NBC. While that was happening, a bomb attack in Paris occurred, causing the deaths of 1 person. That's alright, that's one too many, but still, like, kind of a waste of a bomb on just 1 person, but that sucks. 1987, Italy sent a naval contingent to the Persian Gulf. Huh. I wonder what they're doing. While that was happening, John Paul II arrived in Los Angeles for a 2-day papal visit and addressed the U.S. entertainment leaders. All right. So John Paul II was out here. Cool. And I was alive. I was only a couple months old. I was February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. I was 7 months old. Hey, 7 and 87. 1988, Museum of Moving Image in London opened. That has to be about movies and whatnot. In 1989, the U.S. Congress recognized Terry Anderson's continued captivity in Beirut. Well, okay, they recognize it, but what are they going to do about it? 1990, the Chicago White Sox... Hold on, I mispronounced that. 1990, Chicago White Sox Bobby Thigpen was the first to set record 50 saves. Or was the first to record 50 saves. Nice. While that was happening, Florida Lottery went on over $100 million. Whoa. And then we also have France announced it will send 4,000 troops to the Persian Gulf. What's going on in the Persian Gulf? 3 years later, France is getting involved with Italy. 1991, U.S. women's gymnastics team won first World Championships medal. Silver, but still, that's something. 1992, George Soros' Quantum Fund began selling large amounts of pound sterling, labeled, quote, the man who broke the Bank of England, end quote, who then, when the pound crashed out of the ERM the next day. You monster. This guy took a page right out of the Rothschilds playbook and just completely ruined the nation. 1993, Liechtenstein Prince Hans Adam II disbanded Parliament. That's not good. While that was going on, the single "I'd Do Anything for Love, But I Won't Do That," sung by Meatloaf and composed by Jim Steinman, was released, went on to be #1 in 28 countries. 1994, Muslim fundamentalists kidnapped and beheaded 16 citizens in Algeria. I just want to let the Muslim nations of the world know, if you want people to convert, beheading people is not the right way of doing it. It's not the good image. 1995, Seven, directed by David Fincher and starring Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, and Kevin Spacey, premiered in New York. And yeah, Alice and I saw that a week or so ago. We also saw the movie Rubber, about a sentient tire that blew people up with telekinesis. It was weird. We also have in 1995, hopefully we're not in 55, 1995, Cardinals shortstop Ozzie Smith set a record of 1,554 double plays. Whoa. That's a lot. 1966, 1970, I'm having a stroke. 1996, Texas Rangers retired their first number, Nolan Ryan's number 34. All right. Good old Nolan Ryan. Pitcher so fast, even his hat is like, let's go. 1997, Edison Intel purchased Anaheim Stadium naming rights for $50 million. And while that was going on, Google.com was registered as a domain name. Da, da, da. Scary, scary. 1997, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania public radio station WRTI 90.1 FM switched from all jazz to classical by day / jazz by night format in response to loss of commercial classical station WLFN 95.7 FM. WFLN's library and several DJs made the transition. Interesting. And that's little things like that. That's a wibble wobble, 1998 as well, with the landmark merger of WorldCom and MCI Communications completed the day prior, the new MCI WorldCom opens its doors for business. Well, we should be splitting these companies apart, not allowing them to get together. Monopolies, hello. In the year 2000, we have the 27th Olympic Games opened at Sydney in Australia. And 2 years later, we have an NFL record. Oakland quarterback Rich Gannon began NFL record tying with Kurt Warner and Steve Young streak of six consecutive 300-yard passing games, throwing for 403 yards in Raiders' 30-17 victory at Pittsburgh. 1 year later, 2003, ISO / Columbia Records released David Bowie's 23rd studio album, Reality. He supported it with what became his final concert tour. Yeah. And we lost David Bowie in, 2016? Yeah. At the age of 69. Moving on up to 2004, NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman announced a lockout of the Players Union and a cessation of operations by the NHL League Office. That does not sound good. 2005, Be Without You single released by Mary J. Blige, Billboard Song of the Year 2006, Grammy Award Best Rhythm and Blues Song, Best Female R&B Vocal Performance 2005. That's a lot of awards. Must have been a great song. 2006, Trudy Pitts became the first jazz artist to play a concert on Philadelphia Kimmel Center's new 7,000 pipe organ. That's a lot of pipe organ. Hold on a second. Let me look this up here. 7,000 pipe organ. The world's largest mechanical pipe. Holy crap. Good lord. That is an insane organ. Moving on up to 2011, Ford Motor Company closed St. Thomas Assembly Automobile Plant in Southward, Ontario, after 44 years, resulting in the loss of roughly 1,400 jobs. That's still a lot. This is why I was saying we should not allow these companies to get this big, because when they go, and they will go, nothing lasts forever. Then all of those people will be unemployed. Look at what happened in Idiocracy. Everybody was working for Brondo. We switched from Brondo to water the crops because of the food crisis, and then everybody got laid off. That's coming. That's coming. Just you watch. Mark my words. Scary stuff. Moving on up to 2012, Japan announced that it will phase out nuclear energy by the 2030s. By the 2030s, I guess. Better way to say it. Well, good luck with that. 2013, 227 people were killed after a coal mine collapsed in Afghanistan. Yikes. And while that was happening, Japan switched off its last working nuclear reactor. Okay, well, they got it done in a record time, but they will phase out nuclear energy by 2030s. So, what does that mean? Well, I guess I just ate my own words with this, but don't they have nuclear reactors today? I don't know. Anyway, 2014, President Obama announced the U.S. will send 3,000 troops to help combat spread of the Ebola virus. Why are we sending military troops? What are they going to shoot the virus? What? Why are we not sending doctors? Why are we sending troops to, but where? Just he's not sending where? Algeria? That would make understanding. Nicaragua, Bratislava, I don't know. Where is he sending them, and why is he sending troops to combat a virus? That makes no sense. Anyway, 2015, Benny Andersson and Bjorn Ulvaeus' musical Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, featuring the songs of ABBA, closed at the Broadhurst Theater in New York City after 5,733 performances. Mamma Mia, that's a lot of the meatballs. 2015 as well, EU migrant crisis. Hungary sealed its border with Serbia with a razor wire fence, stranding thousands of migrants. I remember when actually that happened. I remember when I reported on that in a news show many years ago. 3 years later, 2018, we are in the home stretch here, people. Archaeologists found the oldest known brewery and remains of 13,000-year-old beer in Haifa Cave, Israel, belonging to nomadic Natufian people. Huh. So, I have a question. Would anybody out there drink 13,000-year-old beer? I would not. 2018, Russian boxer Gennady Golovkin, 38-1-1, 34 knockouts, lost his first pro fight in record 20th title defense, as well as undisputed world middleweight crown when outpoint by Mexican Canelo Alvarez, 50-1-2, 34 knockouts in Las Vegas, Nevada. Dang, that must have been a hell of a fight right there. 2018, swimmer killed by shark at Newcomb Hollow Beach. First fatal shark attack in Massachusetts in 80 years. 2019, Hong Kong police used water cannons and tear gas attempting to disperse thousands of protesters outside of the British Embassy as protests continued in the city. Dang. Fight for Hong Kong. While that was happening, Norman Lear, at the age of 97, became the oldest person to win an Emmy Award in the Variety Special category for ABC's Live in Front of a Studio Audience, All in the Family. Alright. We also have 2019. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson compared himself to Marvel Hulk character in a newspaper interview. The madder Hulk get, the stronger Hulk get. About UK exiting the EU. So, yeah, it's like... The more mad Boris get... Boris smash! Rah! Oh, you disheveled-looking British Trump guy. I swear. 2020. Family of Breonna Taylor announced $12 million wrongful death settlement with City of Louisville, Kentucky, after the death of after her death in a botched police raid on March 13th. Yeah, that was tragic, but there's a lot more out there that are just not getting covered. 2020 as well, Scientific American issued its first ever presidential endorsement in 175 years by backing Joe Biden. Well, very much like how another guy, completely destroyed the value of the Nobel Peace Prize. Now the integrity of the Scientific American has no light in my eyes. They are meaningless. 2021, SpaceX launched the first all-civilian space flight from Cape Canaveral, Florida, for a 3-day orbit around Earth. Wow. Nice. Also, 2021, why was nobody talking about this? Everybody was going on and on about the Kung Flu and crap. Jeez. 2021, U.S. gymnasts, including Simone Biles, testify against former team doctor Larry Nassar at a Senate committee hearing, criticizing a system that allowed it to happen. Alright. While that was happening, U.S., UK, and Australia announced trilateral security partnership AUKUS to counteract influence of China, including helping Australia build nuclear-powered submarines. And I remember that. The France got all pissy because they initially had something with Australia, but France wasn't going fast enough. So we're just like, you know what? We got to come in here because this needs to happen because China is scary. Speaking of China, Chinese leader in 2022, Xi Jinping, met Russian President Vladimir Putin and other regional leaders at a summit in Samarkand, Uzbekistan. Scary. We also have 2022, European Parliament said Hungary can no longer be considered a full democracy, saying Viktor Orban's government has become a hybrid regime of electoral autocracy. 2022 as well, Patagonia outdoor brand founder Yvonne Scherbernard transferred ownership to a non-profit organization so future profits can fight climate change. Yeah, okay, whatever. We also have tennis great Roger Federer announced his retirement from professional tennis at the age of 41 with 20 Grand Slam wins and 103 ATP titles. Alright. And last but not least, 2022, Ukrainian authorities revealed discovery of mass grave of 450 burials near Izium, some showcasing evidence of torture after the withdrawal of Russian forces. That has, I think that's been disproven. Like, I think that's fake news. So, because I think that's been fact checked as false, but I'm not entirely sure, and I don't really care. Neither side is in the right, but that war should not be happening. But anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. Please check out our link tree. Go to our other video sharing sites. Go to our social media sites. Go check out our affiliates and all that jazz. Anyway, for your dose of Passive and Daily, we stream every day at 11 in the morning Pacific Time, which is 12 Mountain, 1 Central, and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander. Alice is here, kind of. And you, viewer, of course, are you. And until you catch us tomorrow, or if you're interested in some notable events, weather, and sports, and I know I promised this last Monday, but I'm going to institute a new thing. I'm going to try to have the news show twice a week. But if there's not a lot of news on Tuesday, then I'm going to compile everything on a Friday. So Friday, guaranteed, there will always be a news show. Maybe Tuesdays, we'll see. But there will be one at 3 p.m. Today, later on Pacific Time. Anyway, until you catch us again, whenever, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!